Hello beautiful and handsome people, welcome and welcome back to My Take by Muthoni. I am Muthoni in case anyone doesn't know. First, forgive me for the background noise that is on the background because I am directly opposite my neighbors, so please bear with me. Anyway, first and foremost, I want to shout out everyone who has subscribed to this channel, everyone who has supported me through the journey when I started my YouTube channel. Because of that, we got featured on the e-paper Nation e-paper. I will leave the link on the description box in case you missed it. I posted it on my Instagram. In case you don't follow me on Instagram, you better follow me to get updated. Let's get on to today's video. About 2 weeks ago, I asked, oh my god, those cocks, people on my Instagram what topics they'd want me to talk about. I got not so many responses, but let me just mention what people said. The first one was letting go of people we thought were our forever, rejection, how to handle rejection, your worth, friendships, social anxiety, loving what you're doing, and self-love. And for me, I think it's important. I think I want to start with self-love because I've been on a journey of self-love since around this year, since April, let's say. That's when I started intentionally loving myself, prioritizing myself, and just knowing about myself. So let's get on to today's video with self-love. And let me just get onto the definition of self-love. Self-love, the instincts by which one's actions are directed to promotion of one's own welfare or well-being, especially an excessive regard for one's own advantage. And for me, let me give you a background story of what made me intentionally start loving myself. So around April, I had this major fallout with a friend who we were friends for like long, very long. And for me, my toxic trait is I don't let go of people. Like I'll be like, no, please don't leave me. Even if umenikosea, I'll be like, please can you just stay, because I am afraid of what if we meet in the future and you are somewhere that I would want to be. So I used to be afraid of what if they become successful and I am not successful and I need them. So by that I forced my friend to stay, and they had done me wrong, and I was just like, oh my god, Diana, you need to start loving on yourself. You need to start knowing your worth. You need to start, all that about self. And that's where my journey started. If you're following me on Instagram, I buy myself flowers each and every end month, just to it's so amazing to love yourself. You just celebrate your wins, you just celebrate yourself, and it's so amazing. I have loved the journey. It has elevated my confidence, the way I just handle and present myself. I think that has just made me realize so much. And what I'd start by saying, self-love is not, for me, self-love is not something that I can teach somebody how to love yourself. You have to learn how to love yourself by, first of all, knowing what you love. What do you love doing? What gets to you? What doesn't get to you? When you intentionally take time to learn about yourself, when you intentionally take time to know what your preference is, when you take time to know what don't I like, what triggers me, when I feel like when you know so much about yourself, it's like a superpower that no one can take away from you, because self is the greatest power we have in this world, honestly. Because when you know your worth, when you take care of yourself, when you love yourself, no one will ever get to you. Okay, people will still get to you, but no one will ever mock you, or no one will ever come into your space, or you're the one who knows how to handle yourself. You know what you're good at, and you'll know how to figure out this life in a better way. For me, that's what I've been doing. I've been learning also, this is what I like, this is what I love doing, this is, I love flowers, I love this type of flowers, I love celebrating myself, I don't like these are my triggers, you know. So for me, it's been an amazing, it's like hugging your own self and hugging your little you. There's this time I asked people on Instagram what they love about themselves, and they said, most of the people say they love how they love, they love how they love, they love how they give love to others. And I was like, why don't you take that love and give it to yourself? Why don't you take that love that you present to others and give it to yourself? You'll be so, yourself will be so joyous, and it will be so happy, and it will be like, oh my god, this is, yani, your heart will just feel okay. There are things that make us love ourselves more. When you go through a certain challenge, for me, when I went through that particular fallout with a friend, that's when I realized, oh, I need to keep loving myself, I need to start prioritizing myself, I need to start, I started taking caring of myself, because that was a moment of realization for me. So there are different instances where we have moments of realization. It can be a mental illness, it can be physical illness, it can be when someone hurts you, it can be trauma, it can be child abuse, it can be so many things that cause us to there are instances that make us love ourselves more, because when we experience that, we need to take care of ourselves, we need to take care of our feelings, we need to take care of how to react. Because for me, when I fell off with my friend, I got so hurt. It was like this close, I go back to my 2022 self. It was such a trick, and I was like, when we don't value ourselves, when we don't love ourselves, we don't know our self-worth, we allow ourselves to be in situations that are toxic, that are not good for us. That's why when I say self is the biggest thing you have, or the greatest power you have, you cannot allow yourself to be in a toxic relationship if you love yourself. You cannot allow yourself to stay in that environment if you love yourself. You cannot allow yourself to receive the small, it's like when you're doing well, let's say you're supposed to when you're employed and you know what you bring to the table, right? So, and then they pay you a small amount of money. When you don't have self-love or self-awareness, you'll take the job because you're desperate for that, but you need to have self-worth, you need to have self-love, you need to have, self is the greatest gift and power we have, because once you have self-love, once you have self-worth, you cannot even stay in a toxic relationship. You won't hurt your feelings. For me, I always feel like when you stay in a toxic relationship, you are allowing your worth to be taken advantage of by somebody else. You do not have self-love, and that's why after the first red flag and you stay, okay, I'm not a relationship expert, I don't even like talking about relationships, but for instance, if you stay in a toxic, if you entertain the first red flag, the red flags are gonna continue, and you're gonna be an addiction. You won't know how to live. You are afraid of losing that person. You want to hold on to the memories, you want to hold on to promises you made to them, but you are disrespecting your own self. You are not giving yourself the respect that you deserve as a person, as a person. So there are different ways in which you can love yourself. You can change that by how you talk to yourself, how you handle situations, when you give yourself grace, how you respond to your situations. What do you tell yourself? What do you affirm to yourself? For me, I used to hold back on content even before the feature. If you follow me on Instagram again, you will notice I wasn't posting as much because I was doubting myself completely, because I used to be like, I'm not liking my content. maybe, I used to give myself the reasons of doubt, and that's me. That's me. People are telling me you have great content, but I'm like, and I'm the one making the content. I'm just like, Diana, you need to handle yourself with care. You need to give yourself grace, because you all know how I'm so hard on myself. I just realized I'm a human being. We all have different seasons. I can't be like this person. I had so many comparisons. I can't be like this person. But everyone is on their own journey. Another thing that I'd say about self-love, when you think about the things that you like and don't like, you need to do things that are of interest to you. You need to do things that give you fulfillment. When you do them, you feel like your heart is joyous and your heart is feeling amazing, and you just feel like your heart is full. Because for me, for instance, when I buy flowers and place them on a vase or on a vase on my table, and then when I enter this room and just look at them, I'm just like, oh my god, they look so amazing. And I feel so good, because maybe I saved up money to buy that, and then still, like, I'm celebrating myself for the small wins. Like, oh wow, you did an assignment and you finished it on time, and you thought you wouldn't finish, or you had a presentation and you were anxious and you presented it well. Why don't you go and celebrate yourself? When you do small things, celebrate yourself. There's a quote I put on my, it's not a quote, or it's poetry, I don't know, I'll just insert it here. It was saying you need to create the life that you want. Not fake it, like live in it until you cannot live in it again. For me, when I put my flowers here, I always imagine I have my own house. It's like it's like I have a house that is full of flowers. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. If you know, it's like, I don't know, do things that make your heart give you hope. Because when you feed yourself good things, when you do things that are of interest to you, without pleasing anyone, without thinking what will this person think, what will person X think, so just do things that make you feel fulfilled, things that are of interest to you, without caring what any other person will say. And that's literally the greatest power you have, is your own self. So also, another key thing that I think we should consider is self-acceptance. You need to accept yourself the way you are. When you don't, I need to accept that this is the content that I am doing, this is the content that I like doing, this is the content that I feel suits me. I wish you guys could know how I hold back things and content, because I feel like I'm just like, maybe this is not for me, maybe I didn't jingisha kwa vitu hazifai. And clearly I know, even my heart knows that I'm supposed to do content for mental health, self-help, and I've always wanted to do that. But when I think about it, I'm like, maybe it's not for me. Because honestly, even my peers are not doing this kind of content, and I feel like, do I look too mature? Do I look too, you know what I mean? So I used to feel like, it's like I am not accepting that this is the content that I am supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? So you need to accept yourself, you need to accept your body, you need to accept your skin color. When you love yourself, even the people around you will be so intimidated by you and be like, I want to be like that girl. You will become an inspiration. But when you put yourselves in the shadows of others, you won't have, it's like you're living under their wings, and you have your own wings that you can use. So you need to accept yourself, accept everything that you have, accept yourself as you are. And I feel like that's where you start. When you understand yourself, when you know that this is how I am and I cannot change that, I cannot become like this person. For me, that's one of the greatest things. That's why I even kept off Instagram for a minute, because I'd compare myself with other people and think that maybe I'm not good enough. And lastly, what I'd say is, you need to make boundaries with yourself. You need to make boundaries with the people around you, because when you make boundaries, for me, I think boundaries is a way of protecting yourself. You have that. You cannot entertain a person who does this. For me, somebody is coming to me telling me my content is not good. I had somebody who commented so badly about my take, and that's where I draw the line. For me, lack of respect to me is where I draw the line, because how can you not respect me as a human being? That because you think I just talk about mental health. You think just because it's a serious topic, it's not something that can be respected. Just because even on the interview, I said my content is not as famous as the entertainment industry. So it doesn't mean that just because I'm not doing entertainment, you can come and disrespect my content. Boundaries, when you put boundaries with people, people will learn to respect you, and that's where you get respect from. Nobody can come to you and walk in. You need to put boundaries with people, because let's say a person can say these things to you, and you cannot stand up for yourself and tell them that that is wrong. That's allowing them to walk in on you without any form of self-respect and self-regard. They do not regard you as somebody who is respectable, and they do not regard you as somebody who, so you need to put boundaries with yourself and with other people, so that you can protect yourself. Yeah, you can protect yourself. And self-love is basically loving yourself unconditionally. The love you give to others, you need to give that to yourself. I never used to understand what people are saying. Yes, I know I love myself. I can't allow myself to do certain things, but it's showing up for yourself. Self-love is buying yourself what you would want somebody else to buy for you. Self-love is when you take care of your hair the way you admire other people taking care of it, the way you take care of your skin, the way you admire other people taking care of theirs. Self-love is when you dress the way you see other people. Like, you love yourself so much that nothing can intimidate you, that you are the strongest form of being. When you love yourself, there are many things you can avoid. It's like the strongest armor and power that you have. And that's basically it for my take. These are my 2 cents on self-love. So let me know what you think about self-love in the comment section. Let me know if you've liked this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you've liked it. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please continue supporting my content on this channel for greater heights with my take. I cannot wait to see where we are headed to and what God's plan God has in store for us. So please subscribe, share, comment, and like this video. Yeah, and if you wanna get to me, you can just DM me on my Instagram page. We're also on TikTok. Yeah, so see you on the next video. Till next time, bye bye.